Hello and welcome everyone to the Friday, July 12th edition of the SIG ContribEx comms team meeting. As usual, a reminder that we operate under a code of conduct, which essentially says to be respectful of your fellow speakers and attendees and generally be excellent to each other. At the beginning of the call here, we like to offer an opportunity for folks to introduce themselves, and I will start that off, totally optional. I'm Caslin Fields, and I'm one of the co-leads of this sub-project. I'm also a co-chair of the special interest group for contributor experience, which this sub-project is part of. The primary goal of this sub-project is to make sure that folks within the contributor community understand what's going on, and also that folks outside of the contributor community know about the awesome work that contributors are doing, which includes things like owning various social media accounts on behalf of the project, helping folks get blogs written, and a variety of other comms-related activities. Would anyone else like to introduce themselves?
Sure. Hi, y'all. I'm Chris Short. I'm also the A co-lead. Can't be the co-lead. A co-lead of the contributor comms team here. I've been part of SIG ContribEx for many, many years, part of the community for many, many years. I work on the open source team at AWS, and my pronouns are he, him.
She, her.
I can go next. So
Sure.
I'm Fred. I'm currently working more on the blogging side of things here in the ContribEx comms community. I'm also a part of the Kubernetes 131 release lead team. And I've been working in the release team for a couple of releases now, and also doing assorted work here in SIG ContribEx comms, and my pronouns are he, him, and I work as a cloud and architecture lead for Europe and SaaS.
Nice.
Guess I have to go now. I'm the last one, right? Sylvester Carolan.
You never have to.
You don't
Yeah,
have
that's
to,
right.
yeah.
I've been attending meetings for a while, looking to help and contribute, still learning the ropes, but getting more confident as the time goes by and I join more of these meetings. So yeah, that's it. That's all I'll say.
Glad to hear it and happy to have you. I don't think there's anyone else, but as a matter of process, I will leave the option open for a moment if anyone else would like to introduce themselves. All right, let's move on into our agenda, which there is nothing in the doc for as of yet, but we'll see what we remember as we go along. So first off, any new items? Oh, there is a new item that I posted in the SIG ContribEx comms channel. Yes. So earlier this week, there was a chairs and TLs meeting, and one of the co-chairs of SIG Network had some stuff that he wanted to talk about. They are spinning down one project, which all of the chairs and TLs were very excited about. Yay, archiving
Yeah.
projects, and it's an important part of the job.
Hell yeah.
And it sounded like it was a project that they cared a lot about, but they just don't have bandwidth to maintain it right now, and it's not the highest priority. So everyone was celebrating that. And I suggested, or several folks I think on the call suggested, that maybe they should do a blog post about the process of that project, of like how they decided to do the project and then how they decided to spin it down. So if anyone in our group wanted to help them get that blog done, that would be one request. But they also had another project that is active. Oh, I know what it was. They were talking about Gateway API.
Oh.
So Gateway API is very interesting. It's been a thing for the last few years. I think it's cool thing about it is that they developed it as a CRD, basically. It's like It's not in core Kubernetes, but it's the successor to the Ingress API that was part of core Kubernetes, which makes sense, I think, because it's a standard. It's like, here are the APIs that you need to implement to work with Kubernetes, because the issue with Ingress is that it's very dependent on your environment and how the network of your environment works. So each different cloud provider ends up having to create their own tools for how Kubernetes users do ingress to their clusters running in their environments. So Gateway API is very cool and somewhat unique in that it took this external CRD approach. So they want to do some documentation of that as well, that decision and how that's done. There's still some open questions, I think, with like how common we want this to be. And like one thing that was discussed in the chairs and TL's meeting was like, if this were to become a common pattern where parts of Kubernetes create their features as external CRDs, and then we might want to consider moving them into the project over time, we're going to need a process for that, which we don't currently have. But they want to do some documentation around the decision to make Gateway API an external CRD and how they achieved that. So the conclusion from that call was also that that would be wonderful as a blog post. So that's the two blog posts that they would like some help with, is how they spun down a specific project and how they decided to make Gateway API a external CRD. Custom resource definition for anyone.
And that's Shane, the contact.
Yes. Yeah. I added him in our channel.
Cool.
So I was talking and not taking notes. I also didn't ask if anyone wanted to be note taker, but
Well,
I'll write those out now. Go ahead.
like I'm down for this. I just
they're really cool, right? These are
Yeah.
particularly cool requests.
Yes. Like if I had the time, I would volunteer and do it myself.
Yeah.
However, I don't have the time, so yeah. Or do I? Should I? I don't know. Let me get this one project off my back before I start another one. How about that? Work project.
Yeah. All the folks here are I don't know if anyone here has the bandwidth for this.
No.
It's definitely
Sad.
interesting. I've got a bunch of stuff to do for Kubernetes, for Minikube still, and I still need to look at the mentoring work here.
I was
I've been
gonna
out
ask you
for a
about
while.
that.
Yeah, so I still need to get into that and start focusing on that as well. So I should, yeah, sounds interesting. That's the problem. All sounds interesting, but time is
Of the essence.
Precious
Yeah.
resource.
yeah.
Mhm.
Is there?
Rodrigo?
I mean, I can give it a go. I haven't seen anything in the channel to be honest, but the help that they require is at the entire stage of the process. So, do they have anything written yet, or not? It's actually also writing the actual content that they need, or it's picking some existing content and improving it, perhaps, or formatting or whatever, and then following up the process. What is the scope of
Thank
this?
you. Thank you for asking. I think they don't have anything written on these two yet, but it sounded like they could probably write the content.
Yeah,
They just might need a little bit of
that's
PM
fine. I
kind
mean,
of
that's
work and
completely
shepherding.
within my my scope of work, and I can when the shadows are here, and I will talk with them, and I can pick some of them and add them each one to this. So I can today follow up with this. Maybe what they need is just like a process, and I tell you, well, do you have the content? No, well, share with me what you have in mind. Then I'll work in the formatting and the stuff, and I'll push it out with the publication. And this would be more on the website, right? In terms of contributor site and website, both perhaps, as always.
That was something that was lightly debated in the the call, Shane asked at one point if folks were thinking of the contributor site
Yeah.
for these, because especially for, well, both of these are very contributor focused topics.
So-
One is about archiving a project,
Right,
and one is
right.
about
Yeah.
like guidelines
Yeah.
for how to do something. So definitely contributor site. I think they make
And-
sense on the website too, personally.
Let's start
Yeah.
with
We can bank
contributor
that call.
sites because that's the standard anyway for our work there, and then we
Mhm.
can just discuss if it should be mirror or not. But certainly, contributor site is a target. It remains to be seen if website is a target as well. But no worries, I'll pick that up today and keep it rolling. And obviously, this doesn't mean that if any of the others here end up having some additional breathing room in the next week, they can't jump in and do whatever. But I can do what I think it's necessary at this point, which is give them a nudge towards the right direction in terms of the process, so that we have the ball rolling instead of someone being waiting for something to happen.
Yep, I think that's perfect. And you can reach out to Shane, who we added to the ContribEx comms channel. If you scroll just a little bit back, you'll see.
I'm there. Let me see. Here comes.
From Tuesday, July 9th.
Shane was added. Perfect.
Exactly. Yep. So if you just reach out to him,
I mean,
he'll be the
yeah.
one.
Okay, I'll. Do you think it's better to DM it, or should I open something in the channel about this? I'm not sure
Either way.
on what you discussed in the other meetings, so I don't want to like write things here if they are not necessarily something that people want to discuss in public. But I'll DM him, and then we can next week see where we are.
I'm kind of tempted to suggest that you do it in the channel, because it's really
Perfect.
about figuring out the process that he wants to go through for these two blogs, and he wants to talk about them publicly. So I mean, I don't think there's anything in here that's gonna be sensitive. And if one of the other folks in our group who isn't on the call today is interested in that, if it's in
Yeah.
the channel, then they could see it and
But
help
that's
out.
what I thought. My default was going to the channel, because then even for the shadows, etc., I can just point them there. So I'm writing
Exactly.
something that then I'll send it at the end of the meeting.
Perfect. Thank you, Frederico.
More than welcome.
Being an absolute boss as usual.
Kind words. Thank you very much. Actually, I still need to unpack. Wait, give me a second. I moved apartments.
Oh.
Actually, from an apartment to a home, but I need to put this
Beautiful.
visible.
I used to have mine right above my head, but my head would be like in it, so it was a little beautiful.
This side.
Yeah, it's literally right under my college diploma, or not college, but community college diploma, whatever. Yeah.
Nice. Beautiful. The pizza award. By the way, the call for designs for the contributor awards for this year is open. If anyone is artistically inclined and wants to contribute an idea for the award design, welcome. I'll also mention that the call for designs for the Kubernetes Contributor Summit logo is also open. Nothing that directly pertains to our group, but I also want to invite everyone, if you happen to feel like you wanted to do some artistic work on behalf of the community, we would love to have your design ideas. There are emails out about both of those, which you probably got because they're on dev@, so.
Okay.
Cool. Any other new items? It's probably something that we're forgetting, but I'm
Oh,
sure
I'm
it's fine. Oh. Oh. I'm gonna add the call for designs is open in the new items. Not that it's really work for our group.
Yeah. Thing.
got to drop for another meeting, but
Oh, well,
sorry,
thank
it's
you for
quick and
joining us
short.
today.
Yeah.
Did you have any updates or anything that you wanted to talk
I
about before you
don't,
go?
only that I've been out a lot. Had a couple of
Fair.
PTOs, so I haven't really. I know I've got the mentoring thing to do still. I've got to pick that up and get into that. But other than
Yeah.
that, no, not really. Good chatting with everybody.
You should probably reach out to Josh and let him know that you are still interested in working on that.
I'll do that. I made a note.
Just to touch base.
Yep. That sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
Excited about that.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yeah. Maybe it'll actually be short today.
Yeah, it probably will be now. Maybe.
Yeah. Do we have any updates, big wins that we want to talk about?
This week, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Sadly.
I'm feeling that the updates that I'm making to the contributor summit comms stuff is a big win. It's still in progress, but I'm so excited.
Yeah, it will. Like, yeah, once it's out there in the live, yeah, it'll be a big win for sure.
Oh. Well, it is the big win, but anyway, I was one of the speakers at the event yesterday, which is Cloud Native Lisbon. And I did
cool.
share a couple of links to the contributor site and to the work that we do. So, I mean, it's not a win, actually. It's just something that I think it's at least it was a mention, but nothing more than that.
I mean, it's always good to point people over this way, so nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that.
What was the event? KCD Lisbon or?
No, it's no KCD. Well, I'm actually on the organizing committee for KCD Porto, which will happen in September. It's the first one in Portugal. This one was Cloud Native Lisbon. So it's a
Gotcha.
Cloud Native group. It's also a CNCF event, but it's in Lisbon, and it's a regular event that happens with the Cloud Native community of the city.
I am
Nice.
glad to hear it. Always good for our work to come up in these places.
Yeah.
Wonderful. If that's what we've got for updates and big wins right now, then let's move into the board and see what other updates we can find.
Oh yeah.
I'm
there's
sure
always
we'll
something
find some there. Maybe we'll be able to use some of this session as a working session to fix up some
So
of these things.
I don't like. I'm just gonna mention this. Chad, who was here like a couple weeks ago, working on YouTube, I told him like straight up, like just put in your org membership. We'll figure out the rest later. So Laura was one of his other co-sponsors, and she was like, "This seems pretty light, Chris." And I'm like, "I know, but we need YouTube admins." And I'm like, she was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, that's a thing. It's out there, and hopefully we'll just push through it. I'll check his pull request and see if it merged. Apparently not. So interesting.
The shadows for the KCS comms team, Kubernetes Contributor Summit comms team, will also be going for org membership in the very near future, which includes a couple of members, regular members of our group, Sandeep and Arvind. They should both already have enough to go for it, so they'll probably go very soon.
Okay, cool.
Org membership.
For the board.
All right, let's do the board. So things that are ready for review. The shadowing guide. Have you had a chance to look at that since you've been back, Federico?
I forgot that I had anything to review there. Let me see.
I think there's like a minor comment or something. I don't remember. Arvin left some.
Okay. So, no. Yes, there are. I'll I look into this. I forgot. This was the one that got away.
Sorry,
No
sorry to
worries.
interrupt. Sorry
No.
to interrupt. Hi, hello. Federico, whatever you
Yes.
are speaking, the transcript is coming in a different language than English.
Really? Interesting.
It's because I know why. It's because I'm on my iPhone and it's likely set to Portuguese. So
He's in his
Ah,
iPhone and it's set to Portuguese.
that makes
uh,
total sense
can you
because I'm seeing it too.
change? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I can change it here. I have this
It's
thing.
working now.
Yeah.
It came back to English.
Okay.
Okay. So
I set it
it's
to
got.
English in the
Oh,
Okay.
caption, so maybe that fixed it.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't realize that was even an option. That's cool.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
No worries. Please
Thank
interrupt
you for your.
anytime.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
I had just gotten done saying that you're probably ready to go for org membership, Sandeep.
Yes, Kathleen, sorry, can you repeat?
I had just gotten done saying that you're probably ready to go for org membership.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Really
we
happy
should
to hear that.
Yeah. We should work on getting that done.
Yes. Yes.
At this point, we had just moved into the board. So I just put that link in the chat. Awesome. So we'll keep running through the board. If you have any updates, big wins, or new items, please do let us know. Put it in the chat or just interrupt and say so. Feel free. Cool. Let's dive into more of the ready for review column then. So Frederico will be checking in on the shadow guide. It's good for that to get more reviews, so that is in good shape, I would say. SIG
Yes,
API
it is.
machinery spotlight.
SIG API machinery spotlights. I've just reflected some of the reviews that were done during the week. I've updated the dates for publication. The website and contributor sites are PRs are linked, are in sync, and I think it's done. We got a review from someone from Docs there. That's or at least it looks good to me, but it's still not something. It's still just a comment. So what I will do right now, actually, it's to ask in SIG Docs if someone can go there and actually do the approval so that it can be made. So because after that, it can be done on the other one. But content-wise, I think we're done.
Wonderful. And I think this one might be in the wrong column. A spotlight on SIG's scheduling. I don't think that's ready for review. I think it's in progress. It looks like Arvind took that on.
That one I don't have any.
Yeah, he assigned it to himself. I don't see any progress after that though.
Yeah.
Oh, GitHub didn't allow. Okay,
Yeah,
so there's
because
a comment in here from okay, never mind. Don't worry about it.
yeah, he's not a org member yet. He's one of the folks that needs to go for org membership. So Mario couldn't assign him, but he could assign himself.
Got it.
Apparently.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. But so he's assigned to that. I think he's working on doing that.
Yeah.
So I think that's in progress, not ready
In
for
progress
review.
is probably right. Yeah.
I'm going to move that over. Cool. And we'll continue on in the in progress column. Wonder if there's a better way for me to do this review. We'll have to think about it. Next up, steering spotlight blog. Mario said last week that he would ping steering, and he's out right now on a trip or something. So I think we'll check in with him next week on that. All right, we'll move on to the next item. SIG UI Spotlight. This is an Arujval one. Yeah, we had talked about that we had talked about it in the Slack channel. And I know there was some group within Kubernetes, some SIG that existed and now doesn't exist anymore. And I thought it might have been this one, but I think it's a different one. I think it was like a user research group. And I was very sad that it doesn't exist anymore. But I'm excited for Arujval to check into SIG UI and see what's going on over there, because that is one that I definitely don't know much about. Next item. Notify comms team when a new issue is created. There actually work going on this? We assigned it to
I don't.
Mario.
Wasn't there a problem with that? I could have sworn there was a problem with that.
Yeah, I think you're right. There was something going on with that where Mario was editing it. He can tell us about it next week.
Yeah.
We'll keep trying until we figure something out.
Yeah.
Next item, SIG architecture spotlight. This is the multi-piece
Okay, yeah.
one.
So this is it's taking quite a bit of time, but it will go to completion, I promise. Even if we are just like 1 minute away from the end of the universe, like in the Hitchhiker's Guide from the Galaxy, I will have this published. So I've asked for some slots for a one-on-one conversation with one of the missing pieces for the next 2 weeks. I'm waiting on feedback on that. And I've also asked for confirmation of the authorship of the other one that is missing, notably the enhancements one that is there, just for confirmation that we should, the same person has the bandwidth to do it, or if we should move to a different approach. And I did that this week, and I'm waiting for some answers in both of them.
Sounds good. Also, I'm thinking I'm going to share my screen here so that you can see what I'm doing, and hopefully the captions are right on top of what I'm doing in the board. So
Looks
let me
like
know
it,
if you
yeah.
like this better. I used to always do this, and then one person mentioned a preference for the other way. So I'm always open to suggestions. All right. So wonderful. SIG Architecture Spotlight is moving along. Sounds good. We'll move on to the next item then, which is the SIG etcd Spotlight article.
I've notified the authors to give me an update on where they are. So they have the questions, and I reminded them about just tell me where we are. If it takes a while, if you have anything, just provide me. It's a nice nudge so that we can avoid any extended period of uncertainty.
Such is the work of Spotlight blogs. Sounds good. All right. Next one is the SIG Apps Spotlight, which is a Sundapun thing. And Sundapun has been doing an internship. So I know he's been very busy the last few months, and that's working on finishing up. And then I'll have more time, hopefully. So I don't expect there are any updates on this one. Next one is the Spotlight on SIG Security, which is an Arujval one.
Yeah, but I don't know if Arujpal is in the call, and but if not, I mean, this is the one that we reassigned, and Arujan volunteered as well. So we shared the questions, and it's pretty much the same as the ETCD one, with the difference that we didn't ping them to give us feedback, which I will do right now. So they
Okay.
confirmed that they got the question. They said we're interested. That we had 1 month to more or less give them time, and now we should ask how things are. Let me go there and do it.
Wonderful. And Sandeep has a question.
Yep.
Yes. I just had a question. Like, there is an update on 24th May and then another update on 21st June, and the both seem to be same. Questions have been shared and questions have been sent. So what's the difference?
Yeah, I think what happened, and Federico can correct me if he has more information than me, is that he created an initial set of questions, or this transferred to someone else. So questions were sent on around the 24th of May. Then we were expecting to actually start getting some responses in June, but then something came up in SIG security and they weren't able to do that.
Exactly.
So then I think Arujval maybe created a new set of questions or updated the questions or something like that and pinged them about it again. So just
Okay.
the status that week was the questions have been sent. We still haven't gotten
Exactly.
anything.
That's it. That's
Okay.
exactly it.
Cool. Yeah, I think that one is still on hold. I think that's been a point of frustration for Ritual. But he has other projects to work on now, other spotlights to work on now. So it's okay if that one stays stuck, I think. So, but we should check in with him the next time we can about whether we should move that back to do or anything like that. Or if we have like a blocked and waiting column in here. I don't know if we do.
We should, because yeah, like I was just about to mention that we should maybe have like some work has been done, but it's not progressing kind of thing. I don't know what to call it.
I will make one.
Okay.
Blocked/waiting. This column is for work that is on hold for one reason or another. Cool. Okay, there we go. It moved. So I'm going to put the SIG security one in there.
I'm about to move a bunch of stuff in there, to be honest.
Wonderful. Yeah, this we did need this, didn't we? Good to know. The next item, yeah, is automation used the Zapier code tool to eliminate manual labor on YouTube when uploading SIG videos. That
I'm pretty sure that's
we would
done.
also call. Okay.
So like
It always has some like issues or little work going on, but I think the bulk of it is done, right?
So it went to stale. So I asked Nigel, because this was 3 weeks ago. He did a whole bunch of work and got it done, I think, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. So he's saying it looks good to him. Have to see what other onboarding has been done or if it's all captured. Interesting.
Should I move it to done, or do you want to leave it in progress so that we check on it next week?
Mark it not stale and just say this has been completed, I would say. Because there's always going to be someone adding a SIG into the mix kind of thing, right? Like there's a steady state of maintenance. And I think he has the solution that this project was working for.
Okay, so move it to done?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Remove rotten and
if it comes up again, it comes up again.
Yeah, I'm going to. It's not close. How do you? Close is completed. Yes, done, fixed. What's the tag
just
for that? The label? Sheet.
that I
No,
don't know
no,
about.
yeah. It's an issue, so I'll just close it as done. How about that?
Sure. uh, oh, it moved itself to ready for review when you did that. Interesting.
Weird. Huh.
Some kind of bug in the
Okay.
system there, I think.
Maybe.
All
Yeah,
right.
just go in the
Oh, we never
column.
closed the add LinkedIn to Kates.io and Kates.dev one that's over there in the done column. Could you do that
Oh,
for me?
is
I
it
guess I could.
done? I don't know if it's been done. There's a no. Not
Oh, it
done.
needs to be added to the websites. I don't know why it's
Yeah.
in done. Must have gotten moved by mistake.
Yes, highly likely.
In progress or blocked and waiting?
Blocked and waiting. Sorry.
Okay.
I got to go look at my
I,
DMs with Tim and just add it here. Then maybe that's enough. I have no idea.
I also moved help wanted posts over to blocked and waiting. Maybe that'll help us actually get it done one day.
Maybe. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I feel bad about that one. And the last thing in the in progress column is guidelines for usage of Kubernetes.io Twitter. I actually reviewed that.
Yeah.
I think it is ready for broader review probably. Mario is out this week though, and I want his confirmation before we do that. So it'll probably get moved into a team reviewable location within the next week or two.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I guess I should update that, huh?
I mean, there's nothing in there right now, so
Chris and Caslin have reviewed. Will probably be will be available for team review in the next week or two. And this is July 12th, 2024. Okay. I want to add another thing to in progress, which is I've said a couple of times that I want to create more structure around social media lead shadowing. Since we're getting those guidelines solidified and I'm doing so much with the comms team for the contributor summit, this feels like a good time to figure that out if I can actually focus on it. So I'm going to create an item for myself to keep remembering to do that. Okay. So that is created and we'll check in on that again next week. Let's move into the to-do column. We have 10 minutes left.
yay.
Amazing how that works. Buffer access audit. We should probably do that. Maybe if we have a few minutes.
Yes. Let
We should do that.
me check that right now. Yeah.
Yeah, get that started while I finish up the last few to-do items. There's also a SIG docs spotlight, which I guess we could move to blocked waiting. It's in to do. It is assigned to Arpit. Actually, maybe that's why it's in to do, is we assigned it to Arpit and he hasn't started working on it yet.
Yeah.
He was preparing questions on July 5th. So I think that needs to be moved actually to in progress. Moved. This down. All right. kubectl spotlight, also one that Arpit needs to do. I want him to do that. I'm going to move it to in progress so that we make sure that we get to it each week because we usually don't get this far. I wonder why.
Oh man. There's
There's a
of
lot,
people.
right?
There's a lot of people in here. Yeah.
We got to figure that out. Spotlight on SIG Infra. Oh, we wanted to do one about the registry change to pick back up after KubeCon NA 2023. It is still after KubeCon NA 2023. Maybe someday.
Eventually.
Eventually.
One thing that might help here is I'll open a sort of weekly status call on the channel about this kind of blogs, in which I'll just, or at least not weekly, but now, like, we have this, can you just give us your feel about how things are so that we can better align the entries with lanes.
I do like that idea, having a asynchronous, please
Exactly,
update the
yeah.
board kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think weekly would make sense. Like, do that earlier in the week, and then we have this meeting again on Friday
Exactly.
to check.
That would be
Sometimes we
like
don't get that
Tuesday or
far.
something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Thank you. That's a wonderful idea. Frederico being an absolute boss. As usual.
As usual.
Love it.
Yeah,
Two more
lovely.
items left in to do. One is promoting the new contributor workshop content. I guess we could move that to blocked and waiting. It's never gonna happen.
Is it even happening?
I don't know if work is actually active on that anymore.
It's not. I don't
It
think.
was for like years.
Yeah.
Should we move it to won't fix?
I don't know.
I mean, we could still promote it. We could just change the scope. We were waiting for a GitHub workspaces to be active on it to promote it, but we could
Greg
just not.
Peters is, I don't know where he is now, to be honest.
I think Josh Barkas was very much interested in doing this. No,
So this is on the case.dev website. There's a contributor guide, which the guide itself exists, but there's someone named Craig Peters who was working on an integration with GitHub Workspaces. I think he works at GitHub.
Yes.
So he was working on implementing GitHub Workspaces as part of that
Yeah.
existing guide in cates.dev, but that work it kept getting kind of stuck.
And I remember that this was linked with the Katacoda phase out as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Because originally this content, I think we
Right.
had some of it in Katacoda,
Yes.
which was a tool where it would like give you a Kubernetes cluster and you walk through the tutorials on it. So we were trying to create something analogous to that. But Katacoda has been gone for a long time now and we haven't
Long
had a
time.
replacement solution.
Time.
Yeah. Thank you for asking, Sandeep. Oh, code spaces. That's what it's called.
Yes.
but
Doesn't
GitHub's code spaces is very nice, very intuitive to use, and it's very super easy.
Yeah, it would be really nice to have that integration, but I don't know.
Uh,
There's a lot
yeah.
to that because it's going to be very costly to run the code spaces for the Kubernetes contributor training.
Yeah, that would be very costly. Yes.
Yeah, so there's issues beyond the technical, but I think there are also technical issues since Codespaces was very new when they were starting out this project. I think there were some features that were not in place yet and things like that.
Oh, one question.
So,
Why do you say it will be very costly?
like money wise.
Yeah, like you have to run like the super large instances of code spaces, and those are not cheap.
Okay.
So I think this was something that maybe Microsoft would do for us, but it's an additional aspect of complexity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How do you keep
Yeah.
it in sync with the source content? How do you update it? How do you do all the things, right? So yeah.
Yeah, as there's also maintenance costs. That's a good point
Mhm.
as well.
Mhm.
So let's you and me, Chris, try to help each other remember to check in with Craig Peters on like,
Ugh.
are you still going to do this at all? And then we can make a call on if we should promote it as is.
Yeah. I am almost leaning towards just going that route regardless. I don't think I
I
need to
think so
talk
too.
to Craig at this point.
Yeah, we at this point probably promote it as is, and if he ever does that, just
Great.
do
Yeah.
the thing. So shall I move it to in progress? Because like we need to make this happen. I'm gonna do
Mm,
it.
Yeah.
Let's
Go
talk
ahead.
about it more on Slack.
Right. Yes. I have not.
Which makes
I
it in
had.
progress because we are actively working on it.
Yeah. The last time I talked to Craig DM wise was 2022. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is toast, sadly.
Sad.
Or the idea of workspaces is toast. The content's still around, but yeah.
And then the last item in to do was establishing a process to prevent duplication in LWKD articles, which I'm going to move to blocked and waiting.
Sounds about right. And
And we made
you
it
can,
through the entire board.
yay! I'm gonna move buffer access audit to in progress and try to attach a PDF to it if I can.
Wonderful. I
If
don't know if
not,
that's
I
a thing that
won't
you can
move it.
do. I don't think you can attach a PDF to it, but
Oh, you can. You can.
oh, you can.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Cool.
and the board you can. So you just gotta edit the actual thing,
Very good.
but it's not letting me select that file for some reason. Okay, computer, you're just being a donkey right now. Don't do that.
We have 3 minutes left. So are there any last minute items that folks want to discuss?
Okay, that doesn't work, so never mind.
I just wanted to say that thank you, Federico, for your idea of sharing a weekly status update on the blog. That is a
Yeah,
wonderful way and allows us to collaborate asynchronously.
yeah,
It
yeah.
it will
Sorry.
even save our time during the meetup because that we will already know the updates beforehand.
Agreed. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Love
I,
it.
I'll I'll send something Monday to keep aligned with this idea of doing early in the week for the status on Friday. So around Monday, I'll send an update that I will based on the same kind of approach that I did for the shadowing initiative, in which I also listed a couple of examples of what we were having, and then we asynchronously discussed who was having what. I think that worked quite well. And if we can just spend half an hour in the beginning of the week doing that for most of the in-flight projects, I think that we will actually improve a lot in terms of our ability to know the work in progress.
Sorry, I gotta jump to
Wonderful.
another meeting. Good
Okie
call.
dokie.
Thank y'all.
Thanks for
Cheers.
joining today. We're also at the end of our time. So unless there are any other comments, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Oh, goodbye, YouTube.